Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a long crime video for you guys. Let me first tell y'all, I'm so tired right now. I don't know, cramps. Also, I just have a lot of family stuff going on. Also, a lot of personal stuff I'm trying to figure out about my life, y'all. Y'all won't believe what's happening when I tell you guys, which I'm happy for kinda, because it's the only way I'm gonna be able to do something. But when I tell y'all, y'all will know. But till then, we're gonna be reacting to some true crime. Y'all, best friends. What is a best friend? A best friend is somebody you can count on, who's always there for you, no matter what. You don't fight your best friend. You don't, friends argue, best friends argue, but you don't take it like to that next step. I would never put my hands on my best friend. You don't kill your best friends. That's what we are now. We have two best friends fighting and one of them end up dead. I don't know what happened. That's why I'm reacting to it. I went straight to the comments. I kept seeing it pop up. So I was like, okay, best friends, let me go see. And then I saw it on a Law and Crime Network, like the website, and I have not looked at it yet, but I did go to the comments first. So I see people talking about the brother. So it's like back and forth. Some people saying it's self-defense, some people saying no, she murdered her best friend out of cold blood. So we're gonna see, because some people saying the girl was bigger and it was self-defense, but a lot of other people was like, what, like she killed her best friend. So let's see, y'all, because you know what, you don't do that to your best friend. You don't do that. You just don't. I don't know what they was fighting over. I would pray it's not a dude, please. Like, what causes somebody to go that far? I'm over here thinking about like threatening your family, because I know, but you know what? I'm gonna put boyfriend in the mix, because nowadays it's not uncommon. I feel like a lot of people actually do that, which is weird. So let's just get into it.
Ms. Culbertson slaps Ms. Barazini. Ms. Barazini then takes a knife that she had at the side of her person, brandishes that knife to Ms. Culbertson and stabs her once in the neck. Ms. Culbertson then is later on pronounced deceased.
Two teenage girls, best friends who had a falling out, get into an argument that escalates to this. Now, one is dead and the other was just sentenced to a 3-year prison term. How did a few angry words end in tragedy? And also, did the punishment fit the crime? I'll discuss it all with Ohio criminal defense attorney Diane Menashe. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by
I feel
Law
like jealousy
Crime.
was also involved. I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't play with it so far. We're gonna see if I'm right.
In March of 2023, Brianna Baranzini, who was 18 at the time, and 17-year-old Halia Culbertson were with some friends inside of a smoke shop in Northeast Columbus, Ohio. This is near where they lived. Now, they used to be friends, which is why what I'm about to get into makes this even more difficult to understand. They had a feud. That was clear. They had a falling out. And for whatever reason, Halia apparently began yelling at Baranzini and then reportedly challenged Baranzini to a fist fight and went outside to wait for her. And when Baranzini came outside, they apparently had words again, and unfortunately, it did not stop there. One of the friends in this environment captured what happened next on cell phone video.
Hey, get off my sister, bro. Get off my sister. Hey, if you touch my sister again, I'm gonna have to put my phone down, bro. Halia, crunch your to get it over with, bro. Crunch your get it over with, Halia.
Halia seemingly pushes Baranzini, slaps her face, and that is when Baranzini steps back, but then pulls a knife that she has in her pocket. Now, one of the girl's friends tries to break them up. The two don't listen, and Baranzini stabs Halia in the neck. But Robert Krepence interprets this video very differently. He claims that at one point my client produced a knife and displayed it so the assailant would see the knife. That didn't stop her. Culbertson kept coming. She struck my client in the face. My client realized she was not going to stop, so my client swung the knife.
And there, Your Honor, you can see Ms. Culbertson pacing back and forth in front of the store. And there, 22:48 and 24 seconds is when Brianna and her friend exit the store. Now, it has been certainly implied that she came out to accept the challenge to fight Ms. Culbertson. But I believe that the evidence is anything but that. She comes out with drinks in her hand, not alcoholic drinks, no weapon in her hand, clearly not coming out in order to engage into a fight. Further, as I play this video a little further, we see that she and her boyfriend take a direct path to the car in which they had come. I had counted no less than 30 steps that my client took backwards. She pulled a knife from her pocket and took 15 more steps backwards away from Miss Culbertson. She didn't want to engage at all.
So Halia, sadly, tragic situation.
Okay, hold on. Let me talk real quick. Okay. The girl is taller than her, bigger than her. The question is, why would she have a knife? I think that's the question that they should be asking. Also, is this Jesse Weber client? If that is, it's kind of cool. We get to see his case, but it's not cool. The girl passed away. It's like, okay, the girl was obviously ready to fight. The blonde girl, the other friend that killed her, she didn't look like she was like gonna fight her or whatever. They would just walk into the car. Something was egging it on. Her brother was recording this. It's like, bro, what the heck was that about? I see what people are talking about with that. But you gotta be like, why are you walking around with a knife? Was she like expecting this? I personally think that I don't know, I feel like she knew she was gonna fight and then she was gonna stab her. That's just me. I feel like she wanted to stab her. She knew she was gonna do something, or maybe it was for protection, who knows? Because I was wondering why she got 3 years, but I'm like, maybe because they was probably gonna say it's accidental. I don't know. She really didn't look like she was in the killing mood, though. That's the thing.
She is rushed to the hospital, but she dies. She dies.
And she stabbed her in the neck.
And what does the defendant do?
Miss Barazzini goes home to her house at Pine Oak in the city of Westerville, where the Columbus Police Department eventually finds her clothing in the washing machine, the knife hidden in the crawl space with her shoes, and then she had taken a shower.
This is a really sad case, but it's also an important one to talk about. So Barazzini is arrested and charged with murder, which carries a sentence of life in prison, but she's also charged with involuntary manslaughter. And with this trial set to begin, some very incriminating evidence turns up that might have put a wrench in this whole self-defense argument. Why? Because apparently Barazzini sent some texts a week before the stabbing to where she wrote, "I'd sooner slice Culbertson's throat if she comes near me again, and I will cut that," expletive, "on my whole family if she tries showing up to my family's home again." So what happens? The defense files a motion asking the judge to prevent prosecutors from showing these messages to the jury. The judge indicates he would allow them to come in. So while Barazzini initially pleads not guilty, just as jury selection is about to begin, she changes her plea.
Ms. Barazzini now wishes to plead guilty to the stipulated lesser included offense as to count 1, involuntary manslaughter, which is a felony of the 3rd degree. That guilty plea would carry with it a maximum potential penalty of 36 months at ODRC, up to a $10,000 fine.
In signing it, you're telling me you want to admit to a felony 3 crime called involuntary manslaughter. When you plead guilty, it is a complete admission you're guilty. You're going to be convicted today and you're going to be sentenced on July the 11th. It'll be on your record. It's a non-expungable offense. Do you understand the nature of the charge to which you're pleading guilty and what the maximum penalties are?
Yes, Your Honor.
A month later, on Thursday, July 11th, Brianna Barazzini, now 20 years old, is sentenced to the maximum of 3 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter. But for Halia Culbertson's family, that's not enough. They call Barazzini a villain who deserves more than what she should receive as part of this plea deal. Her grandpa, Harley Langley, says, "My granddaughter was 17 years old. 17 years old. She loved life, and everybody was her new..."
Let me hear me say something, okay, y'all? Oh my God. It's like, I feel like, okay, y'all don't hate me when I say this. I feel like everybody say the same thing when it comes to a family member. Yes, okay, that is true if you know your family member. We all think our people are the best. They love life. I really wish people would just say the truth and stop. I'm like, girl, come on, like just dad, grandpa. The girl was out there to fight. That girl was also into stuff too. So don't act like she was a saint because she wasn't. But I know since she passed away, you know, you be respectful. But that video, that girl, I'm over here thinking, I personally believe, after the message, I was like, the girl was like threatening her. I don't know if she was coming to the house many times or something, but it looked like that girl was not ready and she got a knife for protection, y'all. That's what it looks like. Because that girl was literally walking up to her. Like, not the blonde girl, I think she had the knife for protection. But the one with the black hair, her friend, the one that died, it looked like she was ready to fight. And obviously, she kept on saying, if she come to my house, I'm gonna kill her. She must have been coming back up there trying to fight her. The relationship is long gone far from then. It was gone. But definitely do believe, you deserve more. I don't think this, is it weird to say I don't think this is like a sad case? It's a sad case she lost her life, but it's like, look at what led to this. What the heck was this stuff about? It looked like it was so stupid, and why would you stab somebody in the neck during a fight? So yeah, I do believe she deserved to be, like, it's definitely not involuntary. Well, dang, as I'm speaking, I don't know, she had the knife, so I'm like, I feel like it was really premeditated, because I'm like, you had the knife. I'm not on neither one of these girls' side. The girl lost her life, she shouldn't have, but it's like, yo, actions and consequences. It's like, why the girl had a knife out there during the fight? Really just fight and get it over with and go home. Really, the boy should have broke this up. The person, like, people recording this, and that dude, their boyfriend, it's like, yeah, y'all could have just, like, not fought and talked it out. Not even talked it out, just go your separate ways. But nope, they wanted to fight, and she looked like she was ready to fight. The girl with the black hair, the blonde girl, didn't look like she was ready, so, stabbed her. I don't know, y'all. To me, it's not a sad case. It's like people just kind of like slow and need to learn to stop being like violent. What led up to this? Well, we got like 19 minutes and...
New best friend. Culbertson's mother addressed the court in a very emotional victim impact statement.
This was not just the tragic death of a child. It was a heartbreaking betrayal of a young life taken by someone who was once a best friend. My daughter was not killed by a faceless stranger, but by a person who was once trusted and loved, a friend who knew her, understood her, shared countless moments of her life. This betrayal makes the loss even more profound, as it was not an random act of violence, but a calculated decision made by someone who was supposed to protect and cherish her.
She went on to say, "It feels like a betrayal of my daughter's memory and the justice she was promised. She wished my daughter to hell. She was clearly mad, swore on her whole family her intent. So how does she end up the same place at the same time?" Culbertson's sister, Kaylin, speaks out too.
"I've lost a lot of people in my life, but nothing has scarred me so badly as losing Halia. I don't have many friends in this world, but when I was with my sister, I didn't need anyone else. Because of this, my sister is gone forever, and every time I want to talk to Halia, I have to go sit at a graveyard and talk to her headstone, wishing I could just hear her voice one more time. I wish I could just wake up and run into her room and lay on her bed and hug her and tell her I love her just one more time."
And as for Baronzini, she also addressed the court. This was before she was sentenced.
"Not a day goes by that this incident hasn't been on my mind. I understand and feel for the victim's family, as I know the harm I have caused them is indescribable. I will be living with this guilt the rest of my life."
Now, with all that, I want to bring in Ohio criminal defense attorney Diane Menashe to get her thoughts.
It's like, parents know what their kids do, right? I would hope. That girl was not a saint. I know she just wasn't. The eyebrow piercing, the eyebrow told me. I'm like, you know what? She's a teenager. Do what you do. But it's obviously more to the story. But I feel like every time somebody pass away, they give the same type of speeches. Like I said, I get it. People pass away and, it is sad and that's your family member. But it's like, it was also more that led up to this. And I think people need to come to the realization that that girl was out there to fight. Come on now. It was some violence up in this. I just, once again, don't think the girl should have stabbed her in the neck. And all things, that was really personal. That's what you have to remember. That was like so personal to stab somebody in the neck. And you're supposedly best friend.
Sad and senseless case. Diane, thank you so much for coming on. What is your impression of this? I know you're from Ohio. What can you tell us about this?
I actually practice in Franklin County Common Pleas Court, where this took place most often. My thoughts are, I think the one piece, Jesse, that's so important about this case is the provocation piece, right? And I think even when we're talking about the victim's family member statements in court, I reviewed those audio clips as well. And I did have an opportunity to talk to the presiding judge last night, and he gave me certainly permission to say that. But they left out the provocation piece. I mean, their daughter went into the convenience store, there was an incident, and actually the employee of the convenience store escorted her out. So she comes out of the store, and Halia, as I will call her, she was waiting. She was escorted out of the store by the employee because she was causing such a scene inside. And instead of leaving the parking lot or leaving the scene, she waits. She waits for the defendant. And she's not alone. And also, I think, she's bigger in size, although she's younger in age, she's certainly bigger in size. And as you said, Jesse, these two women had a history together. So this wasn't, this wasn't the first night that they were meeting. There was some history and clearly hostility between the two. So I think that provocation piece is huge to really understand why ultimately the prosecution dismissed the murder counts and she pled to the involuntary manslaughter.
I think there was an argument for self-defense here. Now, of course, you could say maybe she should have stayed inside the store. Maybe she should have called police. Maybe she should have called for help, right? You can always make that. But going outside, I can, based on what's been laid out, and I haven't seen all the evidence, but I would suggest you can make a self-defense argument. Why do you think they decided, hey, let's plead guilty to involuntary manslaughter, 3 years? 3 years in prison. Is it just they weighed the risks against it? They felt that their self-defense claim just wasn't strong enough, or it's just the risk of a trial and that the jury might not buy it and she could be facing life in prison?
I think it's all of that. And as that calculus was surely being made by the defendant and her attorney, Robert Crapens, I trust that it wasn't just the text message that you talked about that she sent a week prior, but Jessie also afterwards, she did leave the scene. She did go home to her house. She did change, get rid of her clothes, clean the knife. And so, as you know, there's a jury instruction that would have been read to the jury about consciousness of guilt, and how the jury could perceive that action that she took afterwards. Now, admittedly, she wasn't charged with tampering with evidence, but certainly the actions that she did afterwards and the text message, they would have bookended that situation. And as you said, Jessie, if she had been convicted of the murder, life in prison. And she wouldn't have gotten the option of parole in Ohio until after serving a full 15 years on the murder count.
So, and by the way, if I remember correctly, I think the judge even said when she was, accepting this plea that this is probably in your best interest to do this. Having said that, are you surprised that the government accepted this deal or put this deal and allowed her to plead guilty to manslaughter? Because they could have felt they had a strong enough case for murder. You hear the victim's family members who are clearly not happy with this. So are you surprised they accepted a deal like this?
Why I'm not is because of the video evidence. And I did have an opportunity to watch what was played in court. She clearly steps back. And we know that the victim is certainly the aggressor, right? She hits her, slaps the defendant in the face, and then the knife does come out, but she steps back at least 15 steps. And I know
it also shows that girl was not she's not a fighter. You can tell who's not a fighter. That girl was literally charging at her cheese. I'm talking about, I think it was self-defense as I'm thinking about it. I'm still like, why would you walk around with a knife? But I'm guessing for, defense. Then you'd be like, why would you leave the scene and run away and hide the evidence? And that's why she pleaded guilty. It makes sense. So I'm guessing the recorder was I think I had that wrong. I guess the recorder is the girl who passed away, her brother. That makes more sense because he was egging it on like crazy. But that girl was an aggressor and her family needs to, y'all knew this. They know it. Come on.
I know you talked about 30. It's even 15 and then it becomes 30 steps. She does try to retreat. And Jessie, there's also some other individuals there. The gentleman or the person that was holding the camera, he's also instigating it. People are trying to intervene, and they're being pushed aside. So certainly things are escalating and percolating before the single incident where the knife is put into her clavicle. I'm not surprised the government dismissed the murder counts. It probably should have just been indicted as an involuntary manslaughter initially based on the video evidence. But as you well know, oftentimes there's, you indict everything and maybe capture something that might be where the case ends up.
Sometimes that can backfire. Jury could say, you're throwing too much out here. It's, you don't even know what your theory of the case is. Let me ask you about this 3 years. So obviously, as I said, the family doesn't feel that's enough. That's the maximum, I believe, for involuntary manslaughter. But did you expect the judge to go lower than that, or is 3 years, you think, appropriate given the facts of this case?
I think it's appropriate.
Well, the judge at the plea hearing, as I understand it, and again, we talked to him last night, indicated to the defendant that he was certainly likely to send her to prison, but that if she went to prison and did all the right things and, was a low security level and didn't cause any issues in prison, that she would be a really good candidate for early release. So she can be released after 6 months under the statute here in Ohio, and certainly I would anticipate that the motion for judicial release on her behalf will be filed right at that 6-month mark.
What will her life be like after release? Because I know you're in this space, you're in this industry, you have clients, I imagine, who come out of prison. For someone so young, for what she pled guilty to, what is she looking at for the rest of her life?
Well, I think that was certainly part of why she took the plea, is because she now knows that she will get out, right? She knows that worst case scenario, she took a plea that...
Also, I'm going to look at the comments when this is over, y'all. I'm curious if they're going to say what they fought over, seriously. It was more to it. It was more to it. And why did the boy they should have got him like community service or something, because he was egging his own like crazy. It ended wrong. Don't kill your best friends. Like, what broke up the relationship? I'm curious. I got questions now.
That would keep her in prison for 3 years. I mean, she is a very young person. Even if she were to be released after serving, 6 months or 7 months in prison, certainly, she has a long lifeline ahead of her. And I think that was part of the victim's family members, comments during the sentencing hearing, was that she can still go on and live, and certainly Halia can't. But going to prison, having a felony like involuntary manslaughter on your record that's obviously not sealable or expungible, it will be life-altering for her.
Yeah,
just the conviction alone, let alone, the circumstances, the trauma of it, the
TikToker.
Just carrying that.
So I had to check, y'all. People do believe, like, the girl was defending herself. I always say death is not justified unless, self-defense, or, if somebody was attacking you. Exactly what that happened. It's just that why would you stab somebody in the neck? That's just, that girl was tall. She was taller than her, like bigger than her. But all she had to do was let her walk to her car. After seeing the video, at first I was like, what happened? Was this over a dude? I don't know. I don't know. But, because they didn't say it. But yeah, the video obviously shows the girl, like, being the aggressor, the one who passed away. And her family over here saying that the girl didn't get enough time. Her sister was an angel. Her daughter was an angel. She just loved life. They said about everybody. We need to start being realistic, people. Everybody's not angels, okay? It's like, the girl, I don't know, she was waiting at the store for her. So yeah, obviously, I'm pretty sure she'll get out, like, early. But yeah, good luck. That's on your record. Like I was saying, become a TikToker. You can do media stuff, YouTube. But it is going to be definitely hard to get a job with that. It's not the most tragic case I've heard, I don't think, ever. It's like, it's a stab. The girl passed away. Nobody should have to die for this. It's so sad because of that. But, it could have been avoided. The boys really could have did something. But who knows? They might have been getting in the fight and then getting arrested. I don't know. But still, who walks around? She said for work. Who walks around with a knife in their pocket though for work? I don't know. Even if she did, it's like, she kept saying, like, the text, it was like, don't let the girl, like, she's gonna kill her if she come back. Obviously that shows the girl has been there trying to fight her. So yeah, it's really justified. We really got it. Like, the mom really needs to wake up, and the brother should definitely be charged with something too. So let me know what you guys think. Y'all, best friends are so important. You just don't put your hands on them no matter what, okay? Even if y'all have a fallout, you don't fight your best friend. You do not. I'm going to my best friend's wedding in August. I would never. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't know. I'm really curious about what led up to this. So I really got a feeling it's a boy, but I don't know. Y'all, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I got so much stuff to record. Bye.